Payroll using MYOB AccountWrite Plus version 19.9 software. We're at the Command Centre on the Payroll icon and we click on the Process Payroll tab. We're now at the Select the Pay Period screen and we're going to be processing the weekly payroll. The payment date is the actual date that our pay will be coming out of our bank account, and we have a pay period start date and a pay period finishing date. Click on the little calendar and our pay period starts on a Monday and finishes on the Sunday. So that'll be the 8th of the 7th to the 14th of the 7th. We can then click on Next, and our employees who are to be paid weekly appear on the screen. So click on the little arrow next to each of them. So we'll bring up Mary Jones first, and we will be paying our employees by bank transfer through internet banking. So you'll see that where the payment method up here has already been selected as electronic payment. So we won't be actually using any check numbers. So I like to put in there PAY for payroll as an abbreviation. Now Mary Jones, in her card file, she's been set up as a salaried employee, and her salary for the week has already been calculated. She also has a salary sacrifice amount to be deducted. Her PAYG withholdings has been calculated, so has her super guarantee. So we can just click on the OK button for that. Alan Long, our next employee, will bring up his details. Same, we'll put PAY in here. He's a salaried employee as well, calculated, so has his PAYG withholdings been calculated and his super guarantee. Peter Parker, PAY, maximise the screen here. Now, Peter is actually he's paid on an hourly basis, and he had a sick day, so one day is 8 hours for this employee, because his full-time hours would be 40. So he actually worked 32 hours and had 8 hours as a sick pay. His 8 hours of sick pay would be deducted from his accrued sick leave entitlements. So that's why we need to separate the hours there. And Sue Smith, our last employee, PAY up here, and she's also a salaried employee, so her weekly pay has been calculated, likewise her PAYG withholding and her super guarantee. So once you've actually processed each of those pays, make sure that they are all ticked, and we can click record, continue, OK, and this is where we can prepare an electronic payments. This process doesn't actually transfer directly out of our bank account. It creates a file. So it creates a file that we can upload into our banking system. So we need to tick check each of the employees that are going to be paid. And then we click on this bank file button, and this file will create this ABA file that is a suitable format to be uploaded into our internet online banking system. So we'll save that file. And if you've previously been saving it each pay run, so the previous week, then you can override that. We'll just go to cancel the next one, and we'll just go next here. Our next screen is where we can print or email our pay slips. So there's some tab buttons here, to be printed or to be emailed. So if we want to print them, we'll make sure we tick check each of the employees, and it's just a matter of clicking on the print button. Likewise, if we were to be emailing them, the same principle. We would click on the tick checks next to each of the employees and we would send an email. So we'll go back to printing each of those, and you'd hit the print button. For this exercise, I'll just cancel. I'm not going to print them. And then we're finished. And we're back to our command centre. Now you may wish to print some reports out, so we would click on Reports in Payroll. The activity summary is always a good one to print out, so we would customise this. This gives us a date range to be able to select. So our pay run was done on the 19th, our processing date was the 19th, so we'll display that. And it shows a summary of the wages, total wages, the total deductions, the taxes, the net pay and the expenses being the super guarantee amounts. So that's a good report to run each pay period. Another one would be the payroll advice. That's a good report as well, so we can customise that. Same principles, date of the processing, and this gives us sort of a listing of each employee's. It's like a little pay slip of each of the employees, the total base salary, the salaries, any salary sacrifice, all the details of each individual employee's pay run. So that's also a good report that you might like to run each pay period. On a monthly basis, if you pay your superannuation monthly, you may choose to print a superannuation report, and that could be an accrual by fund summary for the month. So your customising is giving us a date range. So say it was for the month of July. This will give us each individual employee's the superannuation fund, in this case Mary Jones AMP, the amounts of salary sacrifice and super guarantee payments. We have Alan Long, who is the Australian Retirement Fund. Peter Parker and Sue Smith are both with CBUS. So you can make those appropriate payments to those complying superannuation funds when required on a monthly basis, or you may be paying them quarterly. You could take a bit of time to go through and have a little look at those reports at your leisure. We go back to the command centre, and that's actually how we process a pay run using MYOB Account Write Plus version 19.9 software.